Serving Kingdom KC podcast number 3. It's the
Number
Bob
3.
and Jeff Show. Bob Robinson, Jeff McCubbins, and today we're with Rikki Fulmer of A Turning Point, also known as ATP.
ATP.
What are we doing here, Jeff?
We are going to find out a little bit about what A Turning Point does and what Rikki does. Rikki's the executive director here, and so we'll just get right into it. How's that sound?
I like
Sound
it.
good?
Sounds great.
Okay. Well, Rikki, I've got to know you a little bit over the last year, and it's been a pleasure to do that and find out a little bit more about A Turning Point. But can you tell the viewers kind of a little bit about you, yourself, and then also a little bit about A Turning Point and what you do here?
Yeah, so I am a Kansas City transplant from St. Louis.
Hello. Me
We
too.
didn't even cross that bridge.
Yes.
Been here for 3.5 years. We love it in Kansas City. We think it's a very nice side of the state. Everybody here is very kind. And when I'm not working, I'm running around with my 2 kids. I have a son that's 9 and a daughter that's 6. And I've been a social worker for 20 years this year, which is wild. And landed here at A Turning Point. When I moved here from St. Louis, I said, I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to do this work.
Okay.
But that was not in the plans, and here I am running ATP. So A Turning Point has 5 programs, 5.5 programs if you include our cold weather shelter. That includes a high school diploma program for adults, a community picnic every Sunday, an outreach program that's incredibly robust and growing by the minute, food pantry, a wardrobe, and cold weather shelter, as I said, which only runs from December 1st to March 1st.
Awesome,
So, yeah.
awesome. So I know we're going to take a little tour a little later, so we'll look forward to some shots there and some dialogue around that. Can you tell us a little bit more in depth, maybe around A Turning Point, and just maybe how long that it's been in existence, maybe the location, a little bit more in detail about the whole organization and where you guys are located at?
Yeah, so we are at 1900 Northeast Inglewood Road on the campus of Inglewood Baptist Church. About 5 or 6 years ago, Inglewood Baptist Church found that they were declining, and instead of letting their campus just kind of crumble around them, they decided to gift it to A Turning Point, and they wanted to give life back to the campus. And I spoke with them about a year ago, and they said we had no idea what that actually meant, and they've gotten to see how much life they've actually poured back into this campus. A Turning Point became a 501c3 on Monday, 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we
That's
are
great.
celebrating a decade of serving over 400,000 people.
Wow.
Say that again, how many?
Over 400,000
400,000.
That's
people.
incredible.
That's a big number, Jeff.
That's a really
That is why we're here, right?
Yeah.
To get the community involved, to help out those in need. I love that. That is incredible.
Yeah. When I added that up, it made sense why I feel tired. That's a lot of people.
Why you feel blessed for
Yes,
sure to be
yeah.
part of this. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Bob, what other questions do you have for Rikki?
Well, tell me one of your best stories.
So we are a very storied organization, and one that comes to mind most recently is we have several of our outreach workers who have been licensed to be housing assessors in the Northland and in the south of the river. So there's
Okay.
lots of regulations when it comes to that based on the river's divide. And recently we housed somebody that we've been working with for about a year. And we are fortunate that our outreach program doesn't have a lot of red tape. So if we see a need and we all feel like it's an appropriate need for that person, we will jump in and provide it. And
Right.
so early June, we were finding that we were having a hard time. We were connecting people to resources and getting them the help they needed. We were having a hard time keeping in touch with those folks. So July, I put an ask out there and I said, if folks could just give us a prepaid phone and a month's worth of minutes, we could check those out to people in camps that we know are on their way to their next steps, because then we can call them. And one of those people who has given us permission to share his story, his name is Joe. And Joe, on Tuesday, with his dog Ruth, moved into his apartment.
That's amazing.
And one thing he shared with us was that he was the first person to receive a prepaid phone. And the first person he called was his mother, who he had not talked to in 10 years.
Love it.
And so this Tuesday, when he moved into his first place that was a dwelling in years, he's been sleeping in tents, he shared with us the impact of receiving a phone and then being able to be connected to us, who was moving him along his process, and then to reconnect with his family, who's now helping him furnish his apartment, and he's working. He's gotten about he's almost reaching a year of sobriety. His dog, Ruth, became part of the story because a lot of places don't take animals, and so the community came together and was able to get her the appropriate vaccinations she needed to be able to move in with him. So that story is important to a turning point because it is a really good glimpse of how we are able to just stand in the gaps, and we don't do all the hard work. The hard work is the sobriety. The hard work is saying yes, but we're able to be there with those folks consistently through that entire process, which is really important.
You see what she's doing here. She's pulling on the heartstrings, like no one in the dog road. Right, Drake? Are you getting all this, Drake?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally holding back the tears, and I'm not joking. I mean, literally touches my heart.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you, when you mentioned the term, there's no red tape, that was the most important thing I got out of this, because when you talk about an organization that doesn't have any red tape, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That means there's no paperwork, you don't have to stand in the line, there's no waiting list. Talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, so a turning point has sort of been historically an organization that just evolves with a need. And we have to pause and pivot. I have signs in our office that my staff get me and they collect that say pause and pivot, because it's something I say all the time. If we're going to be an organization that's going to truly stand in the gap in an evolving systemic world, we have to be willing to pause and pivot. And so what that means is that there's no limit on how many IDs we do, identification recovery, or birth certificates we can receive, as long as we are doing it appropriately in line with our funding. We don't have to say no if we're doing things correctly. And so when somebody comes to us and says, I need this thing, we say, okay, how can we accomplish that without having to say that's not something that we do. If there is an end to what we do, if there is an end, our outreach team has prioritized resource building. So our net of resources that we know are effective, like-minded, and treat people like humans is very strong in this community. And that, even just the meeting I was at this morning is such an example of that. We walked in the room and we knew so many organizations because our outreach team is in the community, boots on the ground, in the woods, working with people, and it's really incredible.
Right. I love that your organization is agile, right? Like you talked about, you have solid processes, and if you see a need over here, you're able to adjust quickly and then go make something happen. So I love that. Bob, you were going to ask.
So if I was going to go back to the business community and say, hey, I'm looking for $1,000 donations for a turning point, how would they get that money to you?
So our website right at the top has a big gray button that says donate.
Donate.
Yes, you just push on it, takes you right to our PayPal. We also accept checks and cash and pennies and dollars and anything anybody wants to bring us. And what I think is really important about our organization is that we try to, you'll see this in the food pantry, the food comes in the door, it gets sorted, it gets put in our stock, and is out the door within that week. It's the same way with that money. We don't sit on it, we use it. We take $1 so far.
Stretch it.
So far to serve as many people as we possibly can. We served almost 65,000 people last year, and we have 4 full-time staff members.
Love it. I got something on that one. But keep going.
So some of that needs to balance out a bit so we can make sure we can keep doing it at the quality that we're doing it. But what I love about a turning point is that we are able to 100% say that your money is going directly to impact your community.
Yeah, I love that. So love everything about a turning point, what you're doing, what your staff is doing, but obviously to be able to do the types of things that you do, you need a lot of community involvement, right? So how does one get involved, and how does one know what types of needs you guys have from a volunteer and serving status?
Yeah, so our website is also pause and pivot all the time. I'm adding to it all the time. I've tried so hard to put what we need on there, and my staff may not love this. My favorite thing is for people to just pop into campus and to take a tour. I think when you see what happens on this campus, especially if you were to come on like a Wednesday at 11 a.m., there's so much happening. The academy's open, the pantry's open, there's sorters and stockers happening, our outreach team is running around. When you can see all of that in action, I think it's very easy to picture yourself in that world. So you can go on our website, you can learn about our programs. Because we are ever evolving, it's easier to see it in action, I think. And you can email us to set up a tour, but also you can
just pop in and
all
get
of
a
our
tour.
hours and stuff are online.
I love that. I love that you're agile, you have solid processes, you're willing to adapt and make changes.
I'm a little nervous.
I am too.
So all of this is really making me hungry. I have to tell you something. I got something for you here.
Why does this not surprise me?
And I'll kind of help you open
Okay,
it.
I kind of need help.
Yep. So,
Oh,
the other day
yeah.
you made me scrambled eggs, and
I cooked him an omelet. It wasn't very pretty, but he said it tasted good.
but sometimes it's never about the thing.
I'm kind of
right?
scared what might jump out here.
That's a beautiful pot, though.
It's a very
Yeah,
good
it is
pot.
really a cool pot. My wife is gonna like this.
Go right ahead. This is all about you.
I'm gonna open it this way so something doesn't like jump out at me. Uh-oh, it's a present or a gift within a gift.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh,
Some of the
who
food I
knows?
make actually tastes like cardboard.
Oh boy, something fell out of the bottom. Oh boy. Oh,
Oh.
is that SpongeBob or supposed to be SpongeBob?
No, it's not SpongeBob.
It looks like SpongeBob to me. Is that not SpongeBob? Is this not SpongeBob?
It's a, that's
Oh, it's a minion.
Yes.
Oh, see,
My kids would be all over
I'm
that.
very old, and so to me it looks like SpongeBob.
This is
So-
your new companion when you're
I like
cooking,
that.
when
I
you're
like that,
golfing,
right.
and when you're doing your
Golfing?
podcast.
Does he golf too?
Absolutely.
Oh man, this is going to be great. This is
So we
gonna
have
be
one
great.
more thing to do.
We have
here.
one more thing
One
to
more
do
thing.
today.
And you love doing this
So
part.
yeah, I like doing this part. So we're going to take the microphone off here and set it on the table. I hope it's okay. So Rikki, here's what we've been doing. So this is our third podcast.
Okay.
And what our job is here with Serving Kingdom KC and podcast and the Bob and Jeff Show, we have created a little plaque for you guys and for every other organization that we meet with and interview. And we just like to give them a brick basically because we're building a community here.
Yeah.
And so it says the Serving Kingdom KC podcast, a turning point in the date that we've met here.
Awesome.
And we're just incredibly excited for what God's doing here and a turning point, what you're doing with the organization and your team and staff. And so we want to present that to you.
Awesome. Thank you
so
so
I appreciate
much.
you
Yes.
and your time as always.
Yes.
We are getting ready to go out on a little tour here of the facilities, and we're super excited to see that and get more involved here and see how we can make an impact here in our community with and through a turning point. So one of the things that we've also started, Rikki, and that is that every group that we interview with and talk with their executive director or whoever we interview, we also allow them to pick who the next nonprofit is that they would like us to do another podcast for. So don't have to mention it now unless you have somebody on the top of your mind.
I'll wait.
You can tell me in a little bit. You have probably a couple. I know most people do, but Dustin Procish from Hillcrest Hope was the one that recommended us talking to you, and I said, I know Rikki. So, so again, till next time, we're going on this tour, and we're really excited what they're doing here at A Turning Point.
It's the Bob and Jeff Show, and we'll see you next week.
It's all about having fun.
Yeah.
It's all about having fun.
It is.
Bob's got several like that.
It depends on the day. Sometimes me. Often volunteers. We have about 6 volunteers that are
Licensed.
licensed to
Yep.
drive it. So this used to be
Thank you,
our
sir.
day shelter for unhoused folks. This is our maintenance team. Hi, Warren.
Hi, Warren.
Hi, Warren.
So unused. That's offices for our outreach team. Next to here, we made it into a hospitality room for the volleyball teams
Okay.
because we felt like we could do that, but
Okay.
just kind of stretching there.
And you guys use this kind of, I think, if I remember right, last time I took a tour, as kind of your emergency shelter. Were there cots in here? Or am I thinking something else?
No, there used to be cots in that room.
Maybe
but
that's
that
what it was.
from when our day shelter was open, but
Okay.
now that closed in April,
Okay.
can
Okay.
do.
Not really used then.
this
Okay.
is this used to be a dance studio.
Okay.
You can cut a rug in here, whatever you
Gotcha.
want.
Oh, I used to play basketball over here, so.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so no unhoused folks are allowed to be on campus
Okay.
if we are responsible for getting them here.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Is that something that's new, recently changed, or has it always been that
with
way?
our permitting in April.
Okay, so that's when it changed. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Check. 1, 2. Check. Check. You get that?
Everybody got that.
Yep, so the volleyball team rents out the other, there's
Okay.
2 volleyball clubs.
This is available.
Mostly, yeah, I mean, we find things to do in here
Yeah.
because we can.
He's your subletter.
This is Easter Seals meets right here. So we do a job readiness program with Easter Seals. They go and pack up our snack bags and learn job training things. That's what this table is for, so
Yeah.
it could easily be.
And then this other building you said wasn't being used today, right? I think,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can go in
Mr.
there.
Bob would like to see that too, if you can, if you have
Yep.
keys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we are having conversations about what to do with this space. There's so many walls.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
going to be a challenge getting big stuff in and out for sure.
This used to be, when I started working here, this was the guest house. This was our day shelter. And there was one day that I was on a microwave, like a utility cart in front of the fireplace with my laptop, and there were 70 people in this room.
Is that right?
And I went to the ED and I said, I don't think this is working.
Yeah.
And so we shifted downstairs.
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah.
that space back there will be rented out to what we call our campus assistant here in the upcoming weeks.
Is that the only access? Is that door there?
Right here.
Oh,
too.
there's another one too.
Yep.
Oh, that might not be bad coming in here. Because he's looking for a place to furniture.
The ACA Club.
No, we already got a space for that, which we'll invite you to, by the way. There's a new American Club Association Liberty, ACA Liberty. There's also one in the Northland, but it's in a historic location up on the square in Liberty.
Oh, nice.
And so Bob and I are both part of that. Drake is actually part of that as well. But we are looking at doing let me think what it's called here, a nonprofit special interest group. And so
Okay.
we're inviting all the nonprofits to consider joining, being part of that, and really just kind of helping each other out, much like what you just came from.
Yeah.
But on a regular basis. I don't know how frequently you guys meet for those types
They're
of.
meeting again in a month, but I don't
Okay.
think that's going to be ongoing.
Right, right.